You deserved everything you got. This is a union city.
That is a Philadelphia tradition.
Seize the means of podcasting.
Oh God, the boss has crushed us.
Let me tell you one thing else.
In oldie-timey times,
Who said it? Kanye West or Thomas
we
Paine?
will not raw dog reality for that one.
The pleasure of the flesh is in solidarity.
The Scab Buster.
It's gonna be wholly unprofessional.
Keep together strong. Let that be your mantra.
Hello and welcome to the Labor John podcast, where we boom chicka boom to the working class history of Philadelphia and the surrounding world. My name is Sam James. I'm Sam, and you are?
I'm Gabe Christie. I'm not a very good dancer. And I'm also the co-host, which is probably more pertinent to the current situation.
Okay, Gabe. Today is another Samusode!
Yay!
Oh no. And today, we're going to learn about Donald J. Trump was born on June 14th, 1946.
Okay.
Really? That's all I got out of you for that?
I'm interested to know where this is going.
Really? I was expecting a little. Gabe.
It's, I mean,
I know I should have got you drunker for this one. I know I should have.
he made Philadelphia great again, I'm sure. So,
Well, it's not exactly about Philadelphia.
oh,
Because we are Philadelphia and the surrounding world.
that's true.
And also, when you think of Philadelphia and its surrounding areas, what's another geographical location you think of that's not Baltimore?
I'm going to assume you're referring to the overpopulated sandbar that we have to the east of us, known as the Jersey Shore.
The Trump Taj Mahal Casino was opened on April 2nd, 1990 in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Very good.
Yep.
At the time, it was the most expensive casino ever built at $1.1 billion.
I would add a caveat to that. It's also the most expensive casino, or was the most expensive casino ever built on what is effectively a breakwater that really just protects Philadelphia from hurricanes. That's the purpose of New Jersey.
Okay, we understand.
I'm unaware of any collective actions that happened around the Taj Mahal.
So the Trump Taj Mahal was also the largest casino in Atlantic City, and it billed itself as the eighth wonder of the world. Not my words.
It certainly said that.
Donald Trump bought the casino after the original owner couldn't complete its construction. And with it, he inherited its contractors and the union workers.
I'm sure Mr. Trump was very happy about that and treated those proud, hardworking Americans very well.
He has no reputation in this, okay?
Yeah.
So within a year, the Taj Mahal would go into its first bankruptcy.
That sounds right.
And it wasn't alone. Of the hundreds of contractors who built the casino, most were never really fully paid, and many went bankrupt themselves. So we're all in this together.
Yeah. Solidarity.
Yes, solidarity. This was a learning experience for Mr. Trump, as he would go on to shift all his financial liabilities to his businesses instead of himself. Smart man.
Yeah. It's a great system that lets you do that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
How you doing? You doing good, all right? You doing all right? I mean, I started this out with Donald J. Trump.
Yeah.
I was bored.
It hasn't gotten better.
Along with the Taj Mahal, Donald Trump also owned the nearby Trump Plaza and Trump Castle casinos.
For those unfamiliar with Atlantic City, basically casinos last for maybe a decade and then inevitably go bankrupt.
Oh,
did I spoil? I'm sorry.
You just spoiler alerted the entire
I'm
Atlantic
sorry.
City casino.
I'm just trying to remember all of the old casinos that I have forgotten about.
Well, Gabe, Trump Plaza went on to be the lowest earning in the city, and it would eventually close in 2014, leaving 1,300 employees out of work. You feel a lot better about yourself?
I do.
That joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting tidbit. In 1990, Japanese real estate investor Akio Kashiwagi lost $10 million during a baccarat session at the plaza. 2 years later, his body was discovered in his home in Japan with 150 stab wounds from a samurai sword.
Are those related?
He reportedly still owed Trump $4 million in unpaid gambling debts. Gonna let that just sit for a second?
Yeah.
The Yakuza might have had something to do with that, because this gentleman owed money all around the place. Now, Trump Castle would also perform poorly, but was able to stave off bankruptcy temporarily because of a $3.5 million purchase of casino chips by Trump's father, Fred Trump. Now,
okay,
I'll get to...
Hold up. What about her emails?
I completely agree.
Thank you.
It's all, but it's like, yeah, her emails and Biden's son's laptop.
Yep.
That's all we need to talk about.
That's the important story.
I swear, if we did, I know we do End the Surrounding World, but this was like a New York podcast, Fred Trump would probably consist of half of the episodes.
Oh, God.
Technically, that was considered an illegal loan, and the casino was fined $30,000. So I think they learned their lessons. $3.5 million loan, $30,000 fine.
Yeah, that's proportional.
Yes,
that makes sense.
Now, I didn't want to do that. I felt bad doing all this shit about people with millions. There's a lot of dollar signs in this, and I did this purposely. I wanted to kind of drive home a point where these astronomical billions and millions of dollars, and then you'll see a little later on that on the other end, it's like $11 and $12, and you'll see. Starting with Andrea Barbarata, pardon me, was a full-time banquet server at Trump Castle. She worked 70 to 80 hours a week, and after almost 30 years, was the highest paid amongst her workers. But still, as a single mother of two, she would supplement her income with partial unemployment benefits and would pick up additional shifts at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, which, spoiler alert, was previously known as the Trump Taj Mahal. Now, Andrea was a member of Unite Here, Local 54.
Oh, yeah.
Unite Here is an international union with about 300,000 members in the hotel, food service, manufacturing, distribution, transportation, and gaming industries. It was formed in 2004 with the merger of Unite, which is the Union of Needle Trades, Industrial, and Textile Employees.
Yep.
And Here, Hotel Employees and Restaurant Employees International Union. Local 54 itself has over 10,000 members working in the hospitality and casino industries of South Jersey and eastern Pennsylvania. Now, revenues in both Trump Plaza and Trump Castle dropped in 1990 due to competition from a new casino, the Trump Taj Mahal.
There seems to be some odd consistency in naming.
I know, isn't it strange that all these, there's something similar about it, right?
Huh.
At the time, Trump was $900 million in debt.
Oh my God.
And this was like a year. This was not, I don't even think, it was barely even open, all right? So Trump was in debt, and he was forced to sell off his Trump Shuttle airline and his super yacht, the Trump Princess. Now, another tidbit, the super yacht was built for $100 million, which is $330 million today. And it was originally owned by Saudi businessman and billionaire Adnan Khashoggi, who was also implicated as a key middleman in the Iran-Contra affair. After Trump bought the yacht, he tried to obtain permits to dock it at the Atlantic City Harbor, and typically it takes about 3 years to get these permits, but with the little help of a man called Roger Stone and his lobbying firm, Black, Manafort, Stone, and Kelly, he was able to get them in only a couple of months. Now, this firm was also one of Ronald Reagan's political consulting groups for his 1980 presidential campaign. 30 years later, Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort and Trump advisor Roger Stone were sentenced to prison. They were both pardoned by Donald Trump. Everything's okay, Gabe. Just don't have it over the legal amount of weed in your pocket, and you'll be fine, okay?
Yeah.
You might get a prison for 20 years, but fucking... Gabe. In 2004, the Taj Mahal went into bankruptcy. In 2009, it went into bankruptcy
Oh my
again.
God. All right. The business model of a casino is literally just that people give you money.
It's a money machine.
I don't understand how casinos go bankrupt.
Gabe, we were talking a little off mic about this, and we were talking about how like there's so much information you could put into like an episode, but you have to keep it like we could talk about hours for this. Gabe, I'm leaving out like Russian mob involvement with these casinos. Okay, all right. There's so much interesting shit, but it's like it's not. I'm trying to talk about the workers. I'm trying to get to the workers.
But what about the Bolgata?
Yeah, what about... Are you saying that the Borgata was financed by Russian mobs?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
It's called the Morbom. It's my Borgata.
Is there a casino in Atlantic City that wasn't? Or isn't?
Okay. So, in 2009, a few days before it went into bankruptcy, Donald and his daughter, lovely daughter Ivanka, resigned from the board of its parent company, Trump Entertainment Resorts.
That's convenient.
But they continued to be debt holders in exchange for the use of their name. The illustrious Trump name, of course. Mm-hmm. Which is on the Trump Plaza and the Trump Shuttle and the Trump Princess and the Trump...
And the ties and the steaks.
So while the Trumps could no longer receive royalties for their brand, they still did make bank due to the company spending a lot of money on Trump merchandise, such as $250,000 on Trump-branded water bottles.
God.
What the fuck? I mean, you ever look at like a bottle of like Poland Spring and you're like, well, this definitely did not come from a spring in Poland. What comes across your mind when you look at a bottle of Trump water bottle?
I thought they did come from a spring in Poland. As a person of Polish descent, are you telling me...
Am I really breaking this to you, buddy?
I mean, my world is shattered.
Wait till you hear about where Deer Park water comes from, okay?
I assumed it was from deer.
I mean, that sounds bad, but like, wait till you learn how fucking Nestle water comes from.
Oh, God.
You see, this is where the pipes for the sewer system from the local city comes from, and it goes right into our factory.
If we cut off water supplies to the local populace, they have to buy formula.
What are we talking about?
Nestle's behavior in South Africa? I don't remember where they did that.
In 2014,
anyway.
Trump Plaza closed its doors and became the fourth Atlantic City casino that year to shut down, which left ultimately about 8,000 workers out of a job.
Yeah.
The Taj Mahal then went into bankruptcy again. The Trumps then sued to keep their name off of the dying business. Quote, the Trump name has become synonymous with the highest levels of quality, luxury, prestige, and success. Very much, unquote. Very much, unquote, Gabe.
Yeah. I'm sure that's what they say.
Yes. God, give me a drink. Trump Entertainment Resorts threatened to close the Taj Mahal if they didn't receive a $175 million bailout from the Atlantic City and state governments. Casino workers, represented by Local 54, and who have been working without a contract since September, marched to Mayor Don Guardian's office and asked them to reconsider granting concessions to the union. At the same time, financier, what do you say?
Financier.
That's what I said. And billionaire Carl Icahn was in talks with the company and the union. Icahn was willing to invest $100 million in the casino if he was granted the right to hire non-union workers and if the union members gave up their healthcare and pension benefits.
So you know how we live in a country that theoretically was founded on the idea that, like, we shouldn't have kings because we shouldn't have one person who has massive amounts of power over hundreds of thousands of other people?
Yes. I think so, yeah.
We should take a look at that theory again.
Gabe, you need another beer, buddy. I like this game. When Gabe starts to reference the American Revolution in an episode, I'm very entertained. But the union ultimately would not concede. With no financial aid coming, the company decided to close the casino in December 2014. But literally hours before the closure deadline, Card Icon injected enough cash to keep the Taj Mahal afloat. So while the workers were able to keep their jobs, a federal bankruptcy court ruling allowed the company to cut healthcare and pension benefits for the unionized workers. Icon then threatened to withdraw all financial support if the union were to win them back. It was reported at the time that the average wage for these workers was only about $11, $17 an hour, with many only receiving a total of an 80 cents pay raise in the last 12 years.
What year was this?
This would have been 2014, the end of 2014. Okay.
Fight for 15 had already started at that point.
Yeah.
So
in March 2015, still in the midst of bankruptcy, the company was fined $10 million for money laundering violations. Had nothing to do with the story, but it was an interesting tidbit. You know, I told you about the part I left out a lot of the Russian involved.
Yeah.
I wanted to put that in because it was funny. In February 2016, the Trump Taj Mahal finally emerged from bankruptcy, and Trump Entertainment Resorts was officially taken over by Icon Enterprises. Workers have now been without any health benefits for over a year, with many of them relying on taxpayer-subsidized health insurance, and at least a third of them having no insurance at all. In May, the Supreme Court rejected the union's challenge to the benefit cuts. The Supreme Court, our Supreme Court, United States Supreme Court.
Yeah, the great institution that we should uphold and respect.
During this time, the workers have been off and on picketing in order to drive away business from the casino, but they have yet to officially walk off the job.
Okay.
That is until July 1st, 2016, when the longest strike in Atlantic City history began. At 6 a.m., hundreds of local 54 workers took to the boardwalk outside the Taj Mahal. They chanted, "We don't get no contract, you don't get no peace."
I like it.
Yeah.
Also, for people unfamiliar with how Atlantic City is set up, it's a boardwalk, a strip of casinos, and then like
shanty town.
Basically, like it is one of the most dystopian places I have seen.
I kind of liken to like when they build resorts in more of like a third world country.
Yes.
Where as long as you stay within the walls of the resort, you're quote safe.
Yeah.
But once you're out there, like it's bad.
Yeah. And it didn't used to be like that. I think it was in the 50s that they opened up gambling there.
Yeah.
And then basically the whole city just like turned into a casino town.
Exactly.
And
just like everything just went to the casinos.
Yeah.
And they were just like, if it doesn't please the casinos, it's not getting done.
Yeah.
You know? There was actually, I don't know if this will go into any part of the other story, but there was a referendum, and this does have to do because with the Card Icon wasn't going to give any more money to these casinos unless they voted against a referendum that would open up gambling in North Jersey.
Yep.
Which ultimately failed. But like Mayor Guardian was also in that. He was also like, because we get so much money from tourism and the casinos and all that. And they all banded together and they wanted to shut this down. And Icon was like, this better not pass or I'm not putting any more money in these casinos.
Yeah.
So, but like all the money, it went to these casinos. It went to the owners and it went to these politicians.
Yeah.
Go 10 feet outside of any of these casinos and you're going to find people sleeping on the streets. Mm-hmm. And it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
It's sad, man.
Yeah. It's the people in power sold out the entire fucking city and have been doing so for like 70 or 80 years.
Yeah, they did. Oh, God. This is a happy episode.
Well, they do have a pretty decent wind farm. So,
are you serious?
And AC does actually have a pretty robust wind farm. So it's like the one good thing I can say about that city.
Wow. But on August 3rd, Icon officially announced the closing of the Taj Mahal. But the union remained on strike. They believed that if they stopped the strike, Icon would just swoop in and hire non-union workers. But this is more me. What was more likely was that Icon had already bleeded the casino dry like he did many other businesses. Mm-hmm. And he was closing it in order to generate more business for the other casinos he had an interest in, including the Tropicana, which he also owned. So it was like the reverse Trump. Trump kind of like cannibalized his own casinos. Icon was a little smarter, and he was like, you know what? I'm just going to close one of them, and the other one makes more money.
I think
so. Kudos to Icon. On the boardwalk, the workers continued chanting, "One day longer, one day stronger." But inside, the casino floor was empty. On October 10th, 2016, the eighth wonder of the world closed its doors for the last time. And 3,000 Taj Mahal workers would join the thousands who had already lost their jobs from the recent string of casino closings. On March 1st, 2017, the Seminole tribe of Florida, which owns the Hard Rock Cafe brand, announced its purchase of the Taj Mahal. And in 2018...
I had no idea.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that the Seminole owned... Huh.
Yeah. And in 2018, they opened the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. In April 2019, with an overwhelming vote of 99.6%, Hard Rock employees from Unite Here Local 54 voted to ratify a new contract with the casino, providing almost 2,000 workers with industry wages and healthcare and pension benefits.